Season 6, Episode 11, Flutter Brutter. Also, Nutter Brutter. Nutter Butter. Ugh.
Eh,
Uh,
eh. I like this episode. I mean, it kind of showed more depth to Fluttershy.
well, it was an episode that showcased a really good before and after for Fluttershy.
Yeah.
Because her parents are like her before. We know exactly where Fluttershy's personality comes from. I mean, her parents are
Yeah.
season 1 Fluttershy. Maybe not quite as bad, but you know, they're really, 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 really nice. And so,
They're
Yeah.
basically what she would have been if she hadn't had the friends she had.
yeah, if she didn't get the character development she's had in this series, she would be there. I mean, they even went so far as to call her bold. And nobody calls Fluttershy bold. That's not a word that comes out with
yes,
Fluttershy in
we-
the same sentence.
It's like, we're not as bold as you, dear.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was... And while we're on the subject, I want to get this out early because it's a really cool bit that I found out when I was doing... Because sometimes when they come to names or they come to some little, side thing that's kind of a throwaway thing, sometimes those things actually have some really cool story behind them and it links it around and it makes some things make more sense. So I was plugging around and looking up Zephyr. You don't hear about Zephyr much. And it's not a word you use a lot, but it's there. And so I was like, okay, well, what's Zephyr? Zephyr Breeze being her brother. Zephyrus, or sometimes just Zephyr, and it gives a little, is the Greek god of the west wind, the gentlest of the winds, which that sounds exactly what the Flutters would call their kid. Zephyr is known as the fructifying wind, the messenger of spring. It was thought that Zephyrus lived in a cave in Thrace. And this is where it gets really interesting. Zephyrus was reported as having several wives in different stories. He was said to be the husband of Iris, goddess of the rainbow.
So, him and
that-
Dash are at the next ship.
That's just hilarious.
That was when I was reading and I was like, okay, maybe they threw us in something. I mean, the gentlest of the wind that was funny enough. But then I go on that and husband of Iris, goddess of the rainbow. I was like, okay, showrunners, that was kind of clever. That was kind of fun. I'm glad you did that. But I'm not sure exactly how many people actually went by and looked that up, because that seems like it's a really funny thing. Hopefully nobody has just gone in and messed with Wikipedia and added that in. So, anyway, it's nice to see more Pegasi families with this episode. I mean, we've seen everybody else's family, well, as much as is alive as we can tell, besides Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash. They were basically the only ones left who hadn't had a family, full family shown.
Yeah.
Now we're on to, now the only one we haven't seen completely is Rainbow Dash's. And they may be saving that for later in the season or something really important or something. Because we've seen a clip of her in the past, and she was standing with who we assume is Rainbow Dad. We don't know. It might have been an older brother, but it's probably her dad. And so, given that it's probably her dad, it's, we know, at least at that point, she had her dad with her. So, I mean, we can probably assume she's probably got a nuclear family, but we don't know for sure. I mean, she could be,
Could just be a single dad.
yeah, could be a single dad. Or at this point, something could have happened and she could be in the Applejack's condition in terms of the way things are with her. We don't know. We just don't know. It's probably going to be just either either a single father or a nuclear family. We haven't heard anything about her having a brother. That's never come up, so... But then again, Zephyr
Yeah.
Breeze never came up either. But then again, she may not have wanted to talk about Zephyr Breeze.
Can you blame him?
No, not
Can
at
you
all.
blame her?
No. No, it's completely understandable.
She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to complain, and yet she doesn't want to deal with him. So
He just makes
he just
her
doesn't.
so peeved. Which is apparently a much harsher rebuke in Equestria than it is here.
No,
Yeah,
it's
there was
just a
like
much harder.
there's
It's just a much harsher term for Flutter speak.
Yes. Well, if
there
she's-
was a joke going around that said parents wanted to boycott My Little Pony because Fluttershy cursed in it.
Wasn't that a false read or something?
That's why I said it was a joke.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, way to trigger people. Way to trigger people, buddy. He wrote another article that said that I was talking to some Hasbro representatives and they were talking about killing off characters in the movie. Bull crap. I don't believe in that. I want to hear from the source, not you. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you're talking about killing off characters, that's probably not going to happen in My Little Pony.
That's pretty dark for Hasbro. That's pretty dark. So.
At least not any major characters or recurring characters.
I mean,
Sombra, they
the
did blow up. They did blow up Sombra, but
Yeah.
he was evil. He was pure evil.
See,
so.
Kid shows don't. Well, some kid shows do, but most don't kill off the character that says, "Oh, they had to move to a faraway town."
Yes, or they just
He didn't
explode.
switch the bear. He just moved away.
Yes, they blew up Sombra. Wasn't there someone else that they? Yeah. At any rate.
Didn't they do that with Chrysalis too?
They kind of
No,
Team
he
Rocket
got the Team
blasting
Rockets
off again.
blasting off again.
Yeah, it was basically Team Rockets blasting off again. Yes, essentially.
Yeah.
Everything but the ting. I'm not sure if they did the ting. That would be funny if they did the ting, but they didn't do the ting, I think.
Yeah. When Tarek got sent back to hell, Tartarus.
Yes, but he wasn't killed. He was just
Right.
captured
Went
and
It was
imprisoned.
just deported.
He was deported, yeah.
But yeah, that's all. The only one they've utterly destroyed was Sombra, and he was pure evil. So, interesting home design. Not really the Greco-Roman kind of style that a lot of the other Pegasi buildings we've seen tend to follow. Wonderbolt's Academy
Yeah.
doesn't really follow that Greco-Roman too much, but it's also kind of military, so it's kind of standard. It's kind of a utilitarian sort of thing. If that's the right word for it. It's not really. It's very blocky business bits.
Well, if you remember, they're very down to earth, literally.
Yeah, it's a military unit, so it's not going to be overly elaborate. They have a rainbow fence and a cloud roof. So, okay, that's...
Styling and profiling.
Yeah, it's a general thing. I guess you don't really have... With the roof, you don't really have... It's more for privacy than anything, because you're on top of the cloud. It's not going to rain on top of your house.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely see where Flutters gets her soft-spoken personality from. Makes Rainbow stand out like a sore hoof, and later Zephyr. I do like her parents' designs, though. If anybody remembers Doug, her father reminds me
I
of a
hated that
recolored-
show.
Doug, yeah.
kind of a recolored Mr. Swirly. The hair is just
I have no idea.
oh, somebody might get it in the comments of this review.
No, I get it. I've seen Doug. It's just I hated that show. Still do.
It was.
I never liked it, so I never watched it.
It was okay. It wasn't. It was vanilla. It wasn't particularly exciting, but it wasn't particularly
Admittedly, it was not as bad as Hey Arnold and Arthur.
You didn't like Arthur as a little kid?
The storyline was crap.
Arthur wasn't around when I was a little kid.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the aardvark here. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Like, when I was admittedly, when I was very little, it was, I liked it because I was very little, but, you eventually grow out of it, but,
Well, I mean, I've always hated shows where it's like, well, maybe the bully was having a bad day. He just needs a hug. Like, no, sometimes they're bullies because they're just general assholes.
Yeah, and they want to make
that wasn't every week, but it was.
Actually, most bullies do have some reason for it, psychologically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't hate.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna hug them.
Or do you? After you see what kind of garbage she went through, like what she was dealing with at home. You kind of understand what's going on and why she was the way she was. She just didn't know any other way because that's how her mom acted. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But she got redeemed.
You learn from your environment.
Yeah, but she got redeemed.
And most bullies are either abused at home or have been bullied so much that they become bullies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you also have to think about the rich bullies. Like, hey, I'm so rich that I don't really have to give respect to any of you.
Yeah, and they are taught that at home.
Yeah.
They learn from their environment. And those aren't really so much bullies as they're haughty snobs. There's a difference between a snob and a bully. A snob is like, I have this and you don't. Oh, well. And a bully is somebody who actually
bullies.
forces their opinions or aggression on you.
Right. A snob is just show off.
Yeah, snobs just show off, and they're just like, at the most, they'll joke and tease you for what you don't have. A bully will nitpick every little thing and will attack you seemingly for no reason, yet psychologically there's always a reason.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to the episode, they have cloud seat cushions. Pegasus construction techniques are still a mystery because you have these things that appear solid, but they're not. I mean, is everything made out of cloud?
Yeah.
Because that would be the only way you could do it, and it would all kind of stay up, unless there's some bit of Pegasus magic that allows you to build solid things on top of.
Yeah, but
clouds.
you also have to realize that aside from the point building stuff on top of clouds, Pegasi magic, that probably only Pegasi can use the cushions. Like Earth Pony or Unicorn just falls straight through to the couch.
Yeah, well, yeah, but if they're going to be up there anyway, they're going to have that spell that makes it able to do them to do cloud walking, so cast on them so that they can cloud walk. And if they're gonna be up there, they're gonna be cloud walkers. And if they're cloud walking,
well, what I
mean
mean is
sit on the clouds.
I'm saying that they couldn't start a business and sell cloud cushions to all the rest of Equestria.
Yeah, it would be pretty useful.
Yeah, but as far as building goes,
I'm so tired of this. I'm going to sell it to a resale shop. It's like, I'm sorry, we can't accept this. Nobody can sit on it.
Yeah, we can.
As far as building goes, I just think the buildings themselves are made up of cloud too, just like a denser cloud.
That's what I'm thinking too, because we had Pinky walk through a wall.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's what it is. But the other thing is, like, stuff that's obviously not clouds, like the little platter
Yeah.
of food. I mean, that has to have some sort of property to help it stay up there, because if it's all made out of clouds, won't the cucumbers and whatnot fall through? But then again, it's a denser cloud, so maybe it's dense enough that it holds up whatever's put on top of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it does make adding extensions onto your home a lot more easy.
That's true.
Just gather up
And
clouds,
let's,
compress them down, and make them into walls.
And let's not think
Yeah,
about
but it makes privacy a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and let's not think about the plumbing either.
Yeah.
Where do you think all the rain comes from?
Pinkie Pie, that's not chocolate rain.
Oh man.
That's why nobody lives under Cloudsdale. No, that's why Cloudsdale moves. No, wait, that's why Cloudsdale moves. We've seen it move because they move it around.
Yeah.
What they do
The glitch.
is they have Cloudsdale over it, okay, and nobody walks under Cloudsdale while it's sitting still, okay, and then they just let things fall, and there's fertilizer, and then they leave it for a bit, and then they move on, and then somebody farms the area because it's nice and fertilized, and then they move it, and then they fertilize another area.
Yeah. Hey, where do you think Fluttershy's parents live in Cloudsdale? I couldn't really tell by the episode because there was. I don't think there's really any.
It was definitely Cloudsdale because it was. That's where Fluttershy went to school. I would definitely say it's Cloudsdale.
And
it was in the clouds.
And that's where her dad worked. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can live towns away and still work at a place.
But in this universe, it's unlikely. Usually, ponies tend to work where they live. So the fact that he was at the Weather Factory, and the Weather Factory is on Cloudsdale, and Fluttershy went to school there, and it's made of clouds, I'm gonna guess it's probably a pretty safe assumption that this is Cloudsdale we're talking at. And the fact that Rainbow came by as well, and that seems that makes me think it's Cloudsdale. Though it would be nice if
Rainbow Dash has her own place.
Yeah,
in Cloudsdale.
It's not even in Cloudsdale really, because it's just kind of parked over a place in Ponyville. It's just this big cloud on top of a plot of land in Ponyville, or just outside the town. And then she got her mailbox. That's the only thing on ground level is her mailbox, so that the delivery ponies can actually deliver.
Do you think?
And then when she's got to use the toilet, she just goes over to the apple farm. Here you go, your daily fertilizer.
Well, there you go.
Do you think cloud houses are cheap because they're made out of clouds?
I think you buy rights to an area and then you just build it yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I buy rights to plot in this part of Cloudsdale, okay? Lay the foundation, press it together and make walls. I mean, you could probably buy prefab, but you can also do it yourself.
I'm going to refrain from joking about buying the rights to someone's plot.
But yeah, I think that's either prefab or you make it yourself. Or there could be, if you prefer extra stylish, you can have it made for you, but by talented sculptors. But I think a lot of Pegasi would just make it themselves. They start out with a little tent and then they build up their house from there.
Well, that also brings me to something else. Do you think houses in the sky would also fall under maritime law?
Maritime law?
Yeah. The one, like, when you're on the ocean that... fuck, I forgot how the law actually goes, but it's something along the lines that, like, if you're there, you can claim it as your own.
No, I don't. I'm not an expert on maritime law, but I don't think that's quite what you're I don't think it works that way. I think
Well, it's something along the
I think you mean about if you
like-
find something in the ocean, like treasure or something, it's yours.
Yeah, that.
But
It doesn't work the same way, clearly, because whatever they're finding is probably someone else's possession already. Because, unlike.
Well, I mean, the treasure was somebody else's possession already, too.
But the person whose possession it is still living. So, and
Yeah.
right there,
Whereas
and is probably going to be
deep-sea
quite annoyed
diving-
if you're stealing stuff from them.
Whereas if you deep sea dive and find something, chances are they're probably already dead or hired you to find them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's Cloudsdale theory crafting there. So let's see. Her dad collects clouds. Mom gardens. Very soft. Very, nice. Thing. And then Fluttershy takes care of animals. I just want, I know Zephyr is kind of the standout of the thing, but it would have been funny if she'd had an older brother that was just like a metalhead and just dropped by to just to see hi. Is fine and successful in his own right, but is just a metalhead. Just like, the heck. Oh dear, that's definitely something, dear. One of his ideas was apparently square clouds. Terrible idea.
Hey.
If you think about it. I mean, if you needed to store them, then you would be much more efficient. And construction would be modular. You just go, oh
Yeah, and
this-
didn't it rarely do square clouds when their cutie marks are switched?
Yes, she did. She did a checkerboard pattern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's only at this point that we have arrived in my list of stuff. Kuzco has arrived.
I missed that part.
He doesn't really.
Cusco?
Okay, well.
The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, it's the way he kind of enters the room and some of his personality is it's kind of Kuzco, but it's not at all. Directly comparable. But
I thought you were talking about there was like a Cusco pony in it.
No. He kind of enters with a kind of Cusco flair. It's kind of. It was mildly amusing.
Yeah.
Okay. So. One thing that was kind of another odd thing was that main therapy is his calling. Okay, whatever, he does hair stuff. It seems to me cutie marks would get rid of most of these problems, where you would just you would find what you're really good at and what you enjoy. They would both be good. They would be synonymous. What you're good at and what you enjoy would be synonymous in this universe, because you have a butt mark that says I do it.
Yeah, I never looked. Did he have a butt tat?
Yes. He had one.
Okay,
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something relatively like his thing. And I would, that's the one thing about this universe that would be, that's interesting, is that,
Yeah. Not necessarily, because, I mean, look at the Cutie Mark Crusaders. They all found things that they enjoy doing that has nothing to do with their cutie mark.
Yeah, but their main job would be, their main talent would be obvious. The one that there's.
I don't know. Not with those cutie marks.
Well, I mean, you look at, it's supposed to be a mark of destiny, what you're destined to do. So it's not going to tell you what, you're going to enjoy knitting as a hobby. Because, Sweetie Belle has a magic note, not a music note. Apple Bloom has the apple. And Scootaloo has the kind of wing, but I'm guessing that's going to be kind of more speed and stunting. And so
There's a lightning bolt inside the wing.
Yeah, so it's going to be speed. So, ground-based
And
Wonderbolts.
I'm glad that Apple Bloom got an apple because now her family doesn't have to disown her.
No, they do not. It might be covered in other things, but you do have an apple. So, I guess that's all right.
But if you think about it, look at Rarity. Her special talent is finding gems, and that's what her cutie mark is. But what she does and what she loves to do isn't that. What she loves to do is make dresses from the gems she found. Finding gems is just something she does in order to make dresses.
Yeah, that one, you can kind of go either way on that one a little bit, but let's see. Well, but anyway.
Because it even said in the show that her special talent was finding gems.
And it could also show arranging those gems, nice, orderly, kind of the three things. That could also be part of it as well, but getting off into the weeds here a little bit.
I'm not smoking any. You can have them all.
What?
I ain't smoking those weeds.
No.
Save some for my cousin, though.
Anyway, parents are trying to be supportive of his unique main style ideas. The flying skill, he's talking about fastest flyer in Equestria sort of thing. The flying skills to try to impress him. Literal horse whinny ensues. I wonder if, that's equivalent to a swear word in equine. If somebody, whinnies, it's makes an actual horse noise. That's, them throwing up a freaking, dropping an F-bomb.
Wow.
It was so funny. And his parents were like, since you were patting over him, you must be so happy. Remember, it's like,
Yeah, that was at the end. It's like, I know you must be so happy. You pine from. What is freaking Zephyr been telling you? What kind of garbage has he been feeding you?
Seriously. I think he just wants her, and he's just trying to make it seem
Like
just
he
so
has
that
a
they
chance.
have a just so they have a chance together. Even though she's like, no. I'm with one of the Wonderbolts. Yeah, totally with one of the Wonderbolts. Play along,
No.
play along.
No, it's like this. It's like, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Shy, but I'm actually dating your daughter.
That would have been an interesting thing to bring up. It's like, oh yeah, I am dating one of your kids, but it's not the one you think it is.
Like, really? Just tell Discord that.
That would have been funnier, but obviously they wouldn't try something that risky, especially when it tries to get out to an international audience. But it's still kind of funny. He might be a bit conceited, or perhaps incredibly insecure, and uses the braggadocious attitude to cover it up, much like someone else you know. Let's see. He immediately sets to shifting furniture. Really?
Well, you do have to fix the feng shui in the place.
Yes, which makes me think, was his real calling interior decorating? Or,
No,
moving?
his real calling was hippie overlord or something. Serious hippie.
Yeah. Well, now that he's got something to work with, Hey, tree hugger.
Yeah.
But then
I
again,
bet Discord be happy.
But then again, you wouldn't foist him on one of your friends.
True. But I'm sure if she mentions it during tea time, Discord would be like, oh, you should totally meet Tree Hugger. They'd be great friends. Excellent.
Oh, and I love the I forget the line, but really decorate this place, sparkle pie.
Yeah, you messed that one up there, son. You messed it up.
I got the name.
He said sprinkle pie, not sparkle pie.
Pretty sure sparkle, whatever.
Yes, he messed that one up.
Pretty sure I got the name right though.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. We talked about Fluttershy being bold. Main therapy school political. You know, is there a right wing and a left wing? That was terrible.
Even that airplane thought it was lame.
It's like, I'm out of here.
Lamest joke ever.
Maximum on the Fluttershy scale seems to be peeved. Apparently a much stronger word in Equestria.
No, it's just a much stronger word for Fluttershy.
How did AJ whistle with a hoof?
Logic.
Then again,
It's she's magical.
hooves are
Logic.
magical in this universe. They can pick up things with hooves.
No, I mean I can slightly figure it out. I mean, like if you look at their hooves, they have a groove in their hoof where the air could pass through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have a groove in their hoof?
Yeah, if you look at pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it depends on which artist you're looking at.
I'm talking about from actual show.
Sometimes it's yes, it depends on how much detail they're showing at the time. It's usually kind of just a cup. It's a slight cupping to the bottom of the hoof. Applejack kind of sums up, and I'm surprised that Fluttershy was so decisive off of the end of it. Was, well, if your parents won't stand up for themselves, maybe you need to stand up for them. You know, you're right. You know, Fluttershy being actually decisive about things is, you know, quite interesting. That you didn't even hem and haw about it. Just like, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Zephyr's completely oblivious to his wave of destruction.
Yep.
And obviously nobody stood up to him before to make him aware of what he was doing.
Yep.
You know, Fluttershy saying, and this is character development encapsulated in this line, to her parents, she says, I know speaking up for yourself can be hard, believe me, but Zephyr will never stand on his own if he can lean on you. So, character development, right there.
Yep.
We get Creepy Bunny Gnome, that eventually Angel kind of gets over the creepiness.
Yeah. That was cute.
That was.
Gonna have a romantic dinner together and then it's ruined.
Yes. Even though that gnome seemed to be male. I'm not judging.
Well,
Me
I'm
either.
not judging. Whatever. That was a bit. I didn't expect that of Angel Bunny, but whatever makes him happy. Some pony finally forces some discipline on him in regards to employment. But they make the big mistake with Rarity of, you're going to leave Zeph to do something completely unsupervised.
Yep.
Really. You know, I'll quote Douglas Adams, a common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools.
yep.
Right.
speaking to animals isn't genetic.
Yeah.
And it was Opal's fault for giving him the idea.
Yeah,
Blame
bad
the cat.
cat.
Blame the
Bad
cat.
cat.
And another thing, if you noticed, that Zeph said, Opal. Okay, so Opal has Rainbow's mane and tail. Somehow, in all the dyeing process, Opal somehow managed to get a rainbow kind of hair and rainbow kind of tail going on, like in Rainbow's kind of colored palette, sort of thing. You know, I'm kind of into this look. He said when he was talking about Opal, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of into this look. It's like, really, Zeph, really.
Like, bruh.
Twilight gets it half right and leaves someone to supervise him, but it's Spike.
Yeah.
He was easily manipulated. It's like leaving a 10-year-old to supervise an adult.
So you had Starlight in there.
Yeah, you couldn't send Starlight to monitor him. I mean, she would have. I think she would have been a little more disciplinarian on this sort of thing.
She would have kicked his.
Oh, he would,
Yeah.
he would not have left that place happy unless he had cleaned the windows. She would
You know,
not have
I hate
taken
to
that.
say this, that although he did pretty well with the hair thing, I think a better job suited to him would be a manager job.
I agree.
Looking at
It's
McDonald's.
like, do this, do that.
But he's got to know what he's doing first before he can manage others. And that's a leap he's got to go through.
Looking at Hayburger, home of the Hayburger. Can I take your order, please? I'm just kidding.
You want a good shake? But seriously, Twilight, you have wings. You could have done this yourself. But I guess she's rather busy and wanted to give him an opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah.
Also,
And she was gonna have a friend.
Zeph has a ukulele
Yeah.
for some reason. It appears and then it just disappears. I mean, we never see it before, and we never see it after, I don't think. It's just kind of random ukulele, and then it disappears.
On the Ohio Highway.
We get Link Pony.
Link Pony, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. I have to say, though, I still have not played any Legend of Zelda games.
I played a couple.
Let's see. Rainbow Dash was not kidding about zapping him with lightning.
I wonder what his job was for Rainbow Dash.
Probably cleaning something.
I thought it was cleaning the Wonder Bolts. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he probably tried to put the moves on her. It's like, no, nobody's looking, so I'm going to zap you.
Yeah.
It was probably, she had that month-long cleaning the Wonderbolt's barracks, and she just pawned it off on him.
Not to mention that the Rainbow Dash's face is because Zephyr kept flirting with her.
Yeah.
Running.
But yeah, she's using her connections pretty quickly on this. Like, yes, we give him a job. Okay. Whatever. Maybe things like I can get him minimum. I can get him on minimum.
What happened when why she's really zapped him was because he put the moves on her in front of Soren.
Yeah.
Ooh, my.
Hey, back up. She's mine. You know.
Let's see. Angel seems less freaked out by the rabbit gnome now. Fluttershy finally took a hard line with Zeph. Zeph goes castaway with his model head Wigford. That was weird.
Yeah.
Ethan then throws a temper tantrum. You know, he complains that Rainbow's like, well, you're sleeping at noon. You know, it's noon.
Fiesta.
Rainbow,
siesta.
you don't have much place to talk in terms of odd sleeping hours. Though, to
That
be fair
is
to
true.
Rainbow, fair to Rainbow, she actually did her job. She actually,
Yeah.
she finished her job, and then took the nap, and then she probably woke up later and kept maintaining the job. So, you know. Yes. And finally, this is something that I don't know that they've ever done. It's probably come up in other episodes, but it's so rare. It's like, Zephyr's like, I don't expect you two to understand. I mean, when have you ever failed? I mean, you've literally helped save Equestria like a dozen times. And Flush, I was worried I'd fail every time. Sometimes you have to do things even though you might fail. Somebody actually freaking remembers what these ponies have done. It's like saving Equestria like a dozen times, and
they've mentioned it in a few episodes.
yeah, but it's just so rare that people actually go, the ponies actually go, hey, didn't those ponies like save Equestria like half dozen times by now? It's like, maybe they should be bigger celebrities than they are. Hey,
maybe they're just being modest.
Yeah. Well, the fact that Twilight freaking Princess Sparkle is, having trouble getting a cab is ridiculous. She's a freaking princess. That seems like that would be... She would not be able to walk down the street with ease because, somebody would notice, hey, that pony happens to have both a horn and wings. There's only like 4 of those in the world that we know of. Perhaps that's kind of an important pony.
Yeah. Can I get your autograph?
There are 5 now.
Oh yes. But at the time of Maiden of the Verdi Takes Manhattan, there was only 4. So, but yeah, now 5, and one of them's an infant. So, an adult alicorn is probably someone up on the list of, hey, maybe we should notice that person, that pony.
I've been more of a shock than McFlurry. I know, different name, but than her being an alicorn. If she was a male alicorn,
that would have been funny.
Well, I mean, it would have been.
It would have been funnier if it were an Earth pony.
That too, but yeah, anything other than
Cadence.
Anything other than a female alicorn would have been funny because it's like, of course she's gonna be an alicorn. That's how genetics works.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of complaints saying, why is she an alicorn? I don't know. Maybe because her mother's an alicorn.
And if Fleshlight ever had a child, Flashlight ever had a foal, it would probably be an alicorn too.
Wrong stream.
Yes.
And, though it does beg the question, if, alicorns birth alicorns, where are all the alicorns? Considering, Luna, okay, she's been gone for 1,000 years, but Celestia has not found any kind of romance whatsoever in over 1,000 years.
Nah.
No, never? Really?
Well, maybe it's just difficult for them to have foals with other races. And most of the other alicorns were wiped out, they really don't have... Yeah. She has difficulty. But considering Twilight is an alicorn now, it must be recessively within their genetics. So that's why it was easier for Cadence and our Shining to have the kid.
Yeah, and there's
That
also
yeah.
practiced a lot.
there's also
I mean,
the-
yeah, Luna. I mean, yeah, Luna and Tia were born alicorns, and Cadence and Twilight were made alicorns.
And there's also the
Yeah.
fan theory flitting about that that the main six are all Celestia's kids. They're all her secret children.
That I have not heard.
I did see that one where Celestia went to have tea with Twilight and them, and then 9 months later, out comes Mrs. Cake with a unicorn and a Pegasus filly. I mean, foal.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it just doesn't always work out to being an alicorn. It's just sometimes.
Yeah. The reason why she had an alicorn was because she's an alicorn and her hubby is a closet alicorn. As in, it's a recessive trait and it's still in his genealogy because of it's in Twilight's genealogy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anyway,
We learned that Fluttershy has some high ceilings in her cottage.
Well, you have to all those giant animals that sneak in,
Yes.
and for those times when Discord gets rowdy.
Yes, he's got space to stretch. Well, my last little thing. Apparently, Zeph graduated, but his parents weren't there to see the graduation. It's a bit awkward. Seems like that would be something they would be all over.
Yeah.
and more the fact is that was fast.
Yeah.
But then again, he had been taking lessons before, so maybe he just kind of quit just before the end, and
Or
it's fairly
maybe,
easy.
or maybe it's like a certification test that you take the courses and stuff, and he passed the paperwork part, but he couldn't pass the certification exam, and that's why he couldn't get into it.
Oh,
'Cause
like me and my
that's
food handler's card.
Because that's what happens in some cases, like massage therapy. I just really didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't want to drop the $200 to take the test. So I didn't get certified, and my sister tried and failed twice with the certification for her CNA, and so maybe that's what it is. It's like hairstylists. Main therapy needs a certification exam.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a minor little detail thing, but he's at the end of the episode. He's wearing kind of a red sash. That's generally theology or journalism. Red is generally the color for theology or journalism schools. Minor nitpick, but it's there. Maybe there's one for for hair therapy that is that, but
Or maybe main therapy is a combination of some sort of hippie shit like Zen therapy type thing and hairstylists.
so it's part theology there.
Exactly.
By the way, the man bun, really Zephyr, the stallion bun, really.
Man bun, yeah.
Stop.
He's a
But, hey,
hippie,
man-
don't judge.
Oh, I will
Stallion
judge all I
buns.
want.
No, I'm
also
pretty
think
sure
seafoam's
hippies are like,
stupid
I
color.
would not touch that with a 10-yard pool.
Pool?
Pool.
Pool?
Yes.
You're going to pick
You're
up
not
a
going
pool?
to throw a swimming pool at him.
Yep.
And seafoam is a stupid color.
I like it better than some of the colors.
Yeah, but it's still. It's a personal preference thing. It's like one of those. It's kind of a nail on the chalkboard kind of color with me. I don't really like it. It's because it's not blue, but it's not green. It's this weird.
I like
kind of-
aqua. That's not blue or green.
Well, it's a certain tinge between the two that's just it hits funny, and I don't like it. But that's my own hang-up. But
Aqua. Which is neither green nor blue.
but
I hate yellow.
And seafoam is more of a green tint. It's more on the green end of the scale.
oh well. Anyway,
Arr.
anybody have anything else to contribute to this review?
Nope.
I understood that way too much, that entire episode. I felt it. Because right now we're actually clearing out our back room in order to give my sister's kid a place to stay, I guess. So rearranging and reorganizing everything just for her and her obnoxious little child.
No, but he's a sweetheart.
You say that, but then he starts screaming and
That's the end of this review for this time.
Goodbye, review.